He made all things and he holds all things by the word of his power. He doesn't only create things, he sustains them by the word of his power. He's a father because he produces things and also maintains them. Being a father has nothing to do with being a male. It's a matter of your position and your rank. Now, another definition for a father is progenitor. Can y'all say that with me? Progenitor. Now, the word progenitor means father because pro is support and gene is genetics. He's the progenitor of his family. Now, when a father is a progenitor, he determines the human race. So by him determining the human race, he determines the way my country and your country is. If you wonder how my country and your country is, just look at the men in it, because the men produce the human race. In genetics, there's three things that come with genetics: personality, quality, and type.
Teach.
When God wants to start a nation, he comes to the male, because the male is the progenitor. He is the carrier of the genes. So when God wanted to create Israel, he went to Abraham. Now check out the word Abraham. Abram, A-B. A-B is short for Abba, which is father. By that being said, hold on, man. Let's get good, man.
Take your time. Take your time.
All right. So A-B, when I say Abraham, A-B, father, Abraham means father. And God told Abraham he wants him to be the father of a nation. Being a father is a function. It's not a title. It's something you actually have to be built with. The male is dominant, extremely dominant. But society tries to portray it like we're not.
Amen.
And here's an example of how dominant the male is. In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1 through 2, the verse says, honor your father and then your mother. Am I correct? But when you really think about it, the word father was the first word attached to a commandment that had a promise to it. Now that sounds serious, man. Now, I pretty much broke down to y'all what a father is. So now I'm going to go into the 5 things that you need to be considered a good father. The first one you need is you need to be a protector. Now, when I talk about a protector isn't always the sense of physical. You know, a father needs to protect his family by praying, covering his house. A father also needs to protect his family by sometimes being quiet. And sometimes people look at the man and wonder why he act this way, why he do this way, why he move this way, because men, we process things different. A lot of the times your family don't feel your struggle because we blocking the wind that's coming in, trying to enter the home. We protect. So by us protecting, we blocking the wind. And most of the time, a father isn't noticed of his dominance or his presence until he's absent. Because once the wind rolls in, you hear the family like, oh, I wish dad was here, he would know what to do. And well, if dad was here, he would do this. If dad was here, he would do that. But because his presence isn't there, he's not blocking the wind, then there's nothing, it's tearing up the home. The father is the head. He's dominant. And another thing men have to do is, yeah, we want to protect by blocking the wind, but we can't do it by ourselves, because you do it by yourself, you will crack. You try to do it alone, you will break. And by you breaking is you stop doing all these things, then next thing you know, you're trying to hold it down on your own, and then you wonder why you back drinking, you wonder why you back smoking, you wonder why you back cursing everybody out. And a lot of men don't pray because we feel like there's no use. It ain't no reason to pray, really. I mean, what's the point of praying? But you pray for your family, if nothing else. Nobody can pray for your wife better than you. Nobody can pray for your children better than you. You have to be the priest of your home. And another thing a father does by protecting is installing things in his children, especially his daughters and sons, especially his son. You know, we come up in the age now where when we grow up and we go through certain situations, and because most guys grow up without mothers in the home. Mothers are nurturers, so they come to you, kiss it all the way, give you a hug, tell you everything gonna be all right. And by the time he get grown and he get himself in this situation, he expect life to come kiss it all the way too, but it's not. So by you being a father, you're restoring that discipline in him, which is teaching him like life is not as friendly. The mother always come behind and kiss it up and make sure everything gonna be okay, but you need that firm, you need that stability, you need that it's not gonna be this way. It's gonna be this way. It's not gonna come this way, it's gonna come that way. If you do this, it's gonna hurt you. If you do this, it's gonna hurt you in the long run. You need both sides, you need both parents. You can't, or it ain't gonna work. And that's being a protector. And also being a protector is, by being a protector, you just gotta learn how to be quiet. I know they tell most women to be quiet, but if a man constantly comes home and complaining about how his life ain't going no good, or how this ain't going no good, or how this ain't, this all the time, you're hurting your family because they feel like you don't think they're good enough, but your family is an image of you. So if you feel the way about your family, then you're hurting them. You're not protecting them. Number 2, he has to be a provider. Now, 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. I'll read from the NIV version. It's kind of hard for me to comprehend the King James. But anyone that does not provide for their relatives, especially their own household, has been denied in faith and is worse than an unbeliever. But providing isn't always about money. You have to provide counsel. You have to provide perspective. You have to provide more than. Y'all hear me?
You're talking to me. You're talking to me right now. Keep talking.
Paying the bills isn't just good enough. Sometimes, well, for the most part, a man is in his DNA to provide. Because, God said he created us in his likeness and in his image. And Jehovah Jireh is God the provider. So it should naturally be your instinct to want to provide. And like I said, it's more than just money. You got to provide counsel. You got to be there for them. You got to, when everybody's down, you got to be there to pick them up. You got to be that guy. If you don't have, you might not make a lot of money, but you're doing whatever you can to contribute anything.
Teach me,
honestly,
if a
man that don't work, don't eat. So if you don't got a job, how you gonna take care of your family?
Teach me.
If you don't have a job, at least cut grass, mow somebody's lawn, raise somebody's yard, do something. I'm not saying you gotta make $1 million a year, but do whatever it is within the will of God to provide for your family. Amen.
So.
Number 3 has to be a promoter. Someone who promotes his family and not himself. Now, being a promoter doesn't mean you're doing things to make yourself look good. I mean, having a family might look good, but if you're doing the things that God's called you to do, you're making them look good. The reason why you got to promote your family is because, like I said, your family is an image of you. And by you promoting your family, the main thing you got to do is make sure your children are promoted in a godly-like manner, because the devil is not after you. He's after your children. And by him being after your children, because I'm going to be honest with you, if you're 30, 50 years old, if you're dysfunctional, you dysfunctional. It's over with, but your kids still have a chance. So he attacks your kids, and most of the time you are the way you are because of what happened to you when you were a kid. So the devil's going to do the same thing with your kid, and then there's the beginning of a generational curse. I'm sorry, y'all. This is a lot of information I got down.
Out of the mouth of babes.
But you have to resist, a father has to resist the devil. A lot of things that men like to say is, my daddy was this way, my daddy wasn't here, he wasn't this and that. But the thing is, you got your own family, you got to look at it as a restart. Okay, my dad might have been a cheater, don't mean I'm going to be a cheater. My dad might do drugs, don't mean I'm going to do drugs. My dad was here, but he wasn't involved, doesn't mean I'm going to do the same thing. You have to get it dilated in your head. That I'm not going to be the way my father was, because you got your own family, it's a new start. You can change everything. Everything changes with you. Because you can't, I just don't really see that as being a man that's looking back and blaming everything for why you're not where you were. And number 4, he has to be a priest. A man is a priest over his home. But a father has to have a prayer life, my fault.
That's right.
Now, it's easy for the wife to pray.
Amen.
You can hear it outside of the house, you can hear it down the street. A woman would get ugly for God, no problem, no hesitation. But man, we wired a little differently. We got our reasons, but we just wired a little differently. If a woman's praying for her son or her daughter or whatever, like I said, she gonna go all out. But the funny thing about a man is, a woman prays to God. A woman prays to God explaining how she feels. Most of the time, a man go to God for what he wants. Like for example, Lord, I'm trusting and believing in you. Light bill $300. I'm gonna need that by Friday. I believe you're going to do it. Duke Energy playing crackhead games. Somebody going to turn the lights off. But I believe you're going to do it. Boom, it's over with. He don't say nothing. They know the wife down his back. Well, we wouldn't be in this situation if you would just pray. We did. You just didn't hear us. You just didn't hear us. We just move differently. Now, you got some men that don't care, and that's okay too. They'll get just as nasty as a woman would. But most men, most of the time, they don't. But in order to have a solid family, you have to be the priest of your home. As long as you're the priest of your home, God is always going to look out for your family. You're going to always have favor and covenant. But as long as you don't pray, things will constantly get in. That's like you leaving your door unlocked all the time. And then one day you come home and everything in your house gone, and you're trying to figure out, how did this happen? Well, you let your door unlocked. It's like the same thing with not praying. You're leaving the devil an opportunity. Number 5, you have to be a prophet. Now, by being a prophet, you have to speak life into your children, into your family. No, come on, you can do it. You're great. I didn't raise that. Constantly speaking to your child's destiny. And a man being a prophet of his home is just as dominant as anything. And I have a story to tell you. In Genesis 35 and 18, there was a story about Rachel who had a son. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce the name right. But she had a son named Benyon, which, did I say that right? All right, which means son of my sorrows. Now, most foreign women that's hurt or been done by most men and things of that nature, they tend to name their child something, out of hurt. So, after she named him that, son of my sorrows, she died. And when she died, the father came along, the doctor was telling her, this is son of your sorrows, and the father was like, no, I'm going to name him Benjamin, the son of my right hand. But because that father spoke that over his life, he became in a high place with God. A man spoke over his son. And another thing is, mothers can do it too. Even though it's Father's Day, I just wanted to give an example. Back when I was probably about 7 years old. We was at I can't remember. I think it was at a little graduation thing for elementary school, and the teachers was asking everybody, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" You know, we heard doctors, lawyers, football players, and I still to this day don't know why. I don't. I just said out of my mouth, I was like, "Well, I want to be a preacher." Well, my mom heard that, so. A couple years went by, you know, that faded away from me. I was doing my thing, being a teenager. You know, exactly. She would always come up to me, you know, you don't preach the gospel. Didn't want to hear it, couldn't stand it. But she believed and held on to that. Couldn't stand it. I mean, it even got to the point where I told her, I said, "You're not going to tell me what I'm supposed to be." And then she told me, "I'm telling you what God told me you're going to be and what you said yourself." And then that day really didn't hit me until a couple weeks ago. I was like, I did say that. But see, I guess as time went on, I forgot about it. And a whole bunch of things happened, and my life went this way and went that way, and now I'm here now, doing what I swore I wasn't going to do back when I was a teenager. And I feel like that's because she prophesied over me and stuck with that and believed with that over and over, regardless of what I was doing and how I was acting. You have to be a prophet over your home, especially for your children. And most Mother's Day is no problem. Mother's Day is celebrated, cause, everything. You go to a restaurant, good luck trying to get a seat. Father's Day is a little dead. You might hear Happy Father's Day here and there. Definitely go out to eat somewhere, no problem. It's just a simple fact because that's what the devil wants. He wants us to look like that we're not that relevant. We're not that important. That all we do is create babies and the mama do everything and all daddy got to do is throw a little money here and there to child support. But we way, way, way more important than that. Way more important. One thing I've realized is being a mother or a father is the highest calling that God can give you. Because you're responsible. Yeah, in the church you're responsible for other people's souls, but your children's souls is what matters. They're with you day in and day out. That's the highest calling you can have, is being a father or being a mother. And one more thing, this one thing I want to speak. This is really with a lot of dads. You know, we tend to discipline and lay down the law, but sometimes we go too far to the point where it ain't. I don't think it's because we want to, but it's to the point where we forget to love them because we saw do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. But I have a verse for you. It says Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4. It says specifically, "Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather bring them up with discipline and instruction that comes from the Lord." That's an example of why fathers need God, because of these things. And as a dad, you have to be pliable sometimes. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow. Sometimes you don't always have to be so urgent and so firm all the time. One thing that I heard somebody say is, when a father sees his child and they get to a certain age, about 12, 13, and they start to get a little independent spirit, you need to look at it as that's just God helping you hurry up them getting up out of your house. Just for the simple fact that when they act independent, they're trying to find themselves. Now, your job is just to stay biblical, give them biblical morals, and keep them in line. But I mean, let's say, for example, if your son want to get dreads, I don't think it's the end of the world. Or if your son want to wear a specific brand, I don't think you need to go postal about it. Or he want to act this way or that way. Not saying it's okay to let your kids do whatever they want, but you wanting the same independence they trying to find themselves. You don't want, okay, you don't want them to say, I want to be exactly like mama, exactly like daddy, and y'all walking in like ducks looking exactly alike in the line. That's just not going to happen. They want their own personality too. They want to know who they are as well. So just go with the flow. It's like I said, as long as they're not doing anything that's going to detriment your home or ruin the family or this detrimental to God, let them be themselves. Let them enjoy, just chill a little bit. You ain't gotta always be down there drunk. And I need to chill too, because I'm the same thing. But in all, fathers, don't let society overlook you. Don't let the devil try to make it seem like all we do is pay child support. Because we way more important than that. It's a lot of people that aren't where they are today because of fathers. We are dominant and we need to step and walk into that. Now it's time when we feel like we're relevant, but we're very much relevant. And so is the mother. It shouldn't be father versus mother. Who's better, who's more important. They need to come together to get their children to where they need to be. That's all I have for y'all today.
Well, he did that. Amen. Amen.
If you are a dad, will you raise your hand? Yeah.
Amen.
You go, my brother.
Zayas. Amen. 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 Wow. Boy, I know you got to be proud of him. He did that. Well, you got to be proud of your baby. You got to be proud of your baby.
I'm so proud of my baby.
You got to be proud of your baby.